Starting at the head, we have the lateral line system, which runs through the length of the body on either side. These are the dorsal fin and the pectoral fins. The lateral line system is composed by sensory cells and canals under the skin which respond to changes in water pressure, mechanical movement, and other disturbances in the water. The canals open to the outside of the skin by tiny pores which admit water. Other canals are found in the head region near the eyes and jaws. These are the ampullae of Lorenzini. The ones close to the mouth look like black spots, although they are found on the dorsal and lateral sides as well. They are modified parts of the lateral line system and contain jelly-like substance. They are able to detect changes in water temperature, electric current, and salinity with this jelly. Part of the
Here we have the two spiracles. These openings are located posterior and dorsal to the eyes. The spiracles are used for the intake of oxygenated water, which they later transfer to the gill slits. The nostrils shown here are responsible for the shark's scent. They are located on the ventral surface of the shark. There is a nasal flap which is not shown but separates the incurrent and excurrent opening. Water passes into and out of the olfactory sac, which gives the shark their extremely refined sense of smell, which is used to detect prey as well as other odors in the water. Unlike nostrils in a human, the nostrils of a shark are dead ends and actually do not inhale anything into the body. Here we have the gill slits. The dogfish shark has 5 of them. They are located behind the mouth and in front of the pectoral fins. The gill slits are responsible for extracting oxygen out of the water that the spiracles took in for the oxygenation of the blood.
And it's this opening is like the general opening where everything from the reproductive and excretory system exits the body. It's the digested food passes through the colon and then out this area called the cloaca.
We can see that we have a female shark by the lack of claspers, which are present in the male. The shark receives oxygen from the water through the gill slits. It is then goes through the gill filaments, where it is taken by the heart to oxygenate the blood. The heart has 2 chambers. Thank you. Has 2 chambers, a ventricle and an atrium. The atrium is non-muscular and receives the blood, and the ventricle is muscular and pumps the blood to the rest of the body through the main arteries, such as the posterior mesenteric artery, which goes to the rectal gland, the anterior mesenteric artery, which branches to the intestine, the celiac artery, which branches to most of the visceral organs. The portal system goes to the kidneys, which are found here.
On both sides?
Yeah, on both sides. And the hepatic portal system delivers to the liver, which is also found on both sides. So here we have the heart. The blood enters through here, and this is the atrium, and it goes over to the ventricle. And you can see here is where it exits the ventricle to provide the rest of the body with blood. So this is the heart cut open. You can see this side is the atrium, which is obviously smaller. This side is the ventricle, which pumps the blood out to the rest of the body. It's larger.
On both sides we have the liver. It has 3 lobes, 1 here and 2 here. As you can see, the liver excretes a lot of oil. The liver stores energy, and instead of fat, it stores energy in the form of oil. The oil's low specific gravity is also responsible for giving the shark some buoyancy. Here is the mouth. The shark tends to swallow its prey relatively whole. It comes through the esophagus down to the stomach. Here we have the small intestine, followed by the large intestine. The food then goes out the cloaca. Here's the spleen, and then this yellowish organ here is the pancreas.
This is the ileum, which contains the spiral valve, which is essential for getting rid of waste and digestion. These push the food into the stomach. Here we cut open the stomach and we found 2 fish, and you can see that the shark does eat their prey relatively whole, and there are some folds in the stomach which aid in providing surface area and as well as breakup of food. So inside you can see the spiral valve, which is all of these lobes. This allows for a lot of surface area in a relatively small space. And there's some fish bones in there. You can see little rib cage.
So here we have the ovaries. This one has little tiny eggs right there. This one has, as you can see, bigger eggs. These are almost ready, probably to be fertilized. These are the oviducts. Come down to the uterus. There's one on each side, which probably have pups in them already.
So here's the yolk sac, and we just pulled this little pup out, and you can see it's connected because the mother does give live birth, but the pup is not dependent on the mother. As
It's ovoviviparous, is it?
yeah.
Oviparous. Ovoviparous.
So here you can see this is the cloaca, which is where the shark would eventually give birth. And you can see here's another pup also connected to the yolk sac. So she had 2.
These are the eyes of the shark, one on each side. The nerves go through here and into the brain, into the optic lobe, which as you can see is highly developed. Now we have the olfactory nerves, which run through here, which are also important for detecting prey. They go into the olfactory lobes, which are very well developed as well. Based on the size of these 2 lobes, it's safe to say that sharks have very well developed optic and olfactory senses. The eyes are different from those of other animals. One major difference is its method of accommodation and focusing for near and distant objects. While in the higher forms, this is accomplished by changing the shape of the lens. In the shark, it's done, as in most cameras, by moving the lens further closer to the retina. Part of the nervous system is composed by afferent nerves, which can be somatic, sensory, or visceral. The somatic originate as cutaneous receptors of temperature, pain, pressure, and touch in the skin, and as proprioceptors feeding back info about the location of various body parts in space. The visceral nerves bring messages from the viscera like pain, hunger, thirst, fullness, and nausea. They pass through the spinal cord by way of the dorsal root. The afferent fibers, which are also part of the nervous system, are visceral motor nerves which pass to the organs of the autonomic nervous system. These include the heart, intestines, glands, uterus, and other body parts that function involuntarily.